right, we continue to track that major breaking news in Georgetown, a major fire. This is happening on Marginal Way in Michigan. We just got a photographer on the scene there. One of the things that has changed since we last told you about this about 10 minutes ago, it appears that there are several storage containers on fire there. We don't know exactly the area where this is happening, but you look at that smoke on the screen there. It is billowing. The flames are still very much prevalent. That fire, as you are seeing live, is passing through some power lines there, so that could obviously make some things dicey for fire crews in the area. I'm going to switch up this shot right now because you can actually see this fire across from Seattle. Take a look. It is right there behind the Space Needle. I'm going to go to another shot from WashDOT, and this gives you an idea of some of the traffic impacts. Again, Highway 99 there near Marginal and Michigan Way. Traffic is adding up because police and firefighters are obviously on the scene there, desperately trying to contain the flames before any kind of structures go up in flames because of this whole thing. I'm also going to show you this shot. There you go. That gives you an intensity of the fire, too. So clearly, crews have a lot of work on their hands to try to get those flames out. We've been reporting that it is very hot outside, and it looks like the fire continues to spread. So we will keep tabs on this. Back after this. And it is 8 o'clock on the nose, this first day of December. Can't believe it is the first day of December, but here we are. Hope you have had just a fantastic holiday weekend. I'm Ryan Sims.
And I'm meteorologist Stella Sun, and it will feel like December because it is cold out there.
I'm thinking about, we just teased that story we're going to get to in a second about the marathon. I'm thinking about not necessarily the runners, but the people, the supporters of the runners who just have to sit there waiting for their special person to pass by. And we talked about it, taking a live look at SeaTac Airport this morning. It is the last day of the big Thanksgiving travel weekend. You can expect a lot of people at the airport. And again, lots of them. The TSA says 177,000 people could pass through security. That's just today alone. If you are one of them, TSA recommends obviously you get there early so you don't miss your flight. We're also tracking a growing number of canceled flights at SeaTac right now. According to FlightAware, 26 flights are delayed right now. Another 9 have already been canceled. While we're on the topic of tomorrow, if you didn't have much luck finding Amazon deals or some type of Black Friday deal, here comes Cyber Monday right ahead for tomorrow. Stores, again, including Amazon, Best Buy, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, Walmart, basically all the big guys are all slashing prices on top of selling items by 75%. So the focus is now on the weather. You got to feel for those runners. I'm a runner myself, and it's really tough at first. Obviously, it's always tough to get started, but especially when it's this cold outside, you really just have to start darting off. And we continue to follow just a crazy situation on I-5 and Federal Way involved this black BMW. We have learned that the man in this car who drove this car is dead after being stabbed, while 3 passengers are hurt after either being stabbed or shot. This is all happening northbound I-5 at 375th Avenue, right near the Wild Waves theme park. What we know again is that the man driving that car dead after being stabbed. Another man currently in the hospital with gunshot wounds. A third man who was a passenger being treated for a stab wound, and then a woman in the car also in the hospital with a stab wound. Now, taking a look at that scene, it is blocked up with crime tape. Obviously, a major scene for troopers and investigators. And honestly, I got to say, what's interesting about this whole case is where it happened. I'm going to take another look, a different look to our WashDOT cameras. You can see that the BMW is off the side of an off-ramp. Since our last report about a half an hour ago, we learned that that exit that you're looking at leads directly to a truck weigh station where state troopers and WashDOT workers are located, meaning at the height of this crisis, those crews, again, troopers and WashDOT employees, literally had to go only a few hundred feet to get to this emergency, meaning it was a very prompt response. But talking about the traffic impacts, you see it on your screen there, major backups. I just checked with WashDOT, backups now 10 miles long, all the way from the Tacoma interchange up there, again, in Federal Way, right by the Wild Waves theme park. The big unanswered question we have right now is if there are any suspects out there. We do have a reporter headed to that scene, and we will have an update as soon as we learn more. Hope your weekend has just been fantastic so far. I'm Ryan Sims in for Michelle Esteban tonight. First up, tire troubles in the Emerald City. It is happening. It was the case a few months ago in West Seattle with dumped tires there, and now that problem stacking up again, this time in Beacon Hill. About 24 tires were found along the greenbelt there, and volunteers say they are powerless to stop it. KOMO's Karina Vargas joins us live where that new issue is popping up a lot of tires there, Karina. Tonight, new surveillance video shows the moment suspects drove a truck through a Walgreens in Pierce County. Take a look at that. They tried to steal an ATM on the scene. That case happened again at a Walgreens store this past Monday in Parkland. You see the address right there on your screen. Take a look at the video now. Right here, right before 5 a.m., again Monday, a pickup truck plows right through the business, and moments after, the suspects attached a cable to the ATM trying to drag it away. Here's the thing, though. The cable ended up snapping the ATM in half. That didn't go according to plan. The suspects then tried to get cash out, but they seemed spooked and then just drove away. If you know who those suspects are, call the Pierce County Sheriff's Office or send a tip to Crime Stoppers. It's been kind of a wild weekend on the weather front. Yesterday, gusty winds knocked out power to more than 65,000 people in western Washington. It was wild. And most of those outages, as we reported, came from Whidbey Island. The entire island lost power at one point. The good news tonight, those outages are now down to only 1,300 people again right now. Cleanup is underway tonight in Northern California after a tornado swept through an area north of Santa Cruz. Tornadoes, goes without saying, very rare in California. The state average is only about 10 per year. The F1 tornado left behind a path of destruction nearly 1/3 of a mile long, bringing down trees and power lines. Several people were hurt, but the good news, there were no reported fatalities. For a look at weather in our area, we turn to Rebecca. You know, it's stories like that which make us thankful to be here in Washington, even with the week that we're about to have. He is Thurston County's top cop, yet not even he is immune from the dangers of people getting behind the wheel impaired, with the suspected drunk driver plowing into him last night. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Ryan Sims in for Michelle. Sheriff Derek Sanders was driving in the area near Lacey along 7300 Martin Way East when that car T-boned him. The good news to all of this is that the sheriff should be okay. KOMO's Paul Rivera spoke with him today. Paul, talk about double trouble. This is not the first time he's gone through something like this. This is not what you want to see when you go to the airport. Dramatic new video shows the moment when a fire broke out underneath a Frontier flight as it landed in Las Vegas this weekend. It was coming from San Diego. A spokesperson for the airline said the pilots detected smoke as the plane was landing and declared an emergency. Airport officials say the plane experienced a hard landing and its tires blew. Fire and rescue crews luckily put out the flames quickly, and no one was hurt. The incident is now under investigation. As recovery efforts continue in the southeast from Hurricane Helene, Florida just cannot catch a break. Hurricane Milton is now a Category 1, is expected to hit Florida midweek. Until then, cleanup crews are racing to clear away the debris left behind by Hurricane Helene.
We are preparing, and I have the state emergency response team preparing for the largest evacuation that we have seen, most likely since 2017 Hurricane Irma.
You got to feel for all those people impacted. Meantime, the death toll across the southeast from Hurricane Helene continues to rise. We're talking about 234 people now. The Department of Homeland Security warning FEMA will run out of its money before hurricane season ends. The agency is urging Congress to pass emergency funding for FEMA. Lawmakers, though, are out for recess and will not return until after the November election. Other news tonight, the conflict in the Mideast is just a hot topic this election season. New at 11, Kayla Gaskins has a look at how the Israel-Hamas war could sway votes ahead of Election Day.